Hi, I'm Emily, and this is video number 6 in the Be Like Lilies series. Check over our Facebook page to see some of the other videos that I've posted on there. Be Like Lilies, Lilies, and let me know what you think about some of them. Also, be sure to share at least one video, your favorite, or just share the page itself with other moms that you know, with other mom groups, because anxiety and depression are definitely silent illnesses. They're silent, invisible things that people don't regularly, walk up on the street and say, oh, well, I have anxiety. Like you'd say, well, I'm sick, I have the flu. I don't have the flu, I just have some kind of allergy thing going on, and I have anxiety. So I want to encourage you to please share, because you never know who you might be able to help. And I am here going to talk about one thing that could really help the soul part of mind, body, and soul treatment. And it is this book called Holiness for Housewives and Other Working Women. This book was written by Huber Van Zeller. I believe he's a priest. And it was first published in 1951. Don't think it's out of date. It totally can pertain to your life today. The struggles, the stresses, the duties of a wife, of a mom, of having young children around. It is fantastic. What it really focuses on is to gain in holiness, to improve our holiness. We need to improve our relationship with God. But when you're married and you have kids, you don't have as much time to just sit down and pray. So he talks about how you can dedicate your day and your chores and your everyday things that you're doing as a form of prayer. And that is so relieving to me, to be able to do that, to say, okay, I'm doing the dishes right now. That's my prayer, God. I'm doing the dishes one more time, or doing your laundry. And it says throughout the book how you're going to be given the grace to get through this. It talks about obedience to God, how to pray through your difficulties, how to strive to be a saint, and how to raise saints, and with these little children, that's what we're trying to do. Like I said, the part about obedience is really interesting for me, because like obeying my husband is one of those vows that I really don't want to be tested in. But it lays it out really well, because he talks about obedience as, a form of love, that like you obey the precepts of the church because you love God. You don't do it because it sounds reasonable or just like the right thing to do. You do it because you love God. And similarly for obeying your husband. But he does point out that you can't be forced to violate your conscience, but it was really good about when to listen to reason and different kinds of things. It also has a section that really spoke to me. It's about beware the temptation to run away. And this isn't even talking to anxiety moms in particular. This is just all, women, that there could be a temptation to escape, to try to get away. Sometimes it's despair. He even says sometimes to suicide, which is desperately sad. And at times to flight, to just running away. And it says it shouldn't really be shocking. Excuse me. It shouldn't be shocking, because the strongest unions must come to a potential snapping point if their quality is to be proved true. So even the best of situations is going to be tested. It's just whether or not you're going to be giving in to those temptations or not. And I certainly hope that you don't give in to a temptation like suicide. Definitely seek some help before that. Temptation to despair, to think, oh, it's never going to get better. We know that that's one of those worry, catastrophic fear kind of symptoms of anxiety. and also to flight. I will tell you that, one quick story about my time of anxiety. One time I had a reason to go out in the car to a store somewhere at night, and I actually went without the baby, and he was maybe 6 to 8 weeks old at that point. And this is my third baby when I was really sinking into anxiety, depression. I saw a flash of light in my rearview mirror, and at first glance I thought it was the police, and I didn't know if I had done anything wrong. You know how you kind of see them out of the corner of your eye, you're like, okay, well, did I stop at that stop sign? Well, he wasn't after me, he was going somewhere else, and I just kept on driving, and then I proceeded with the, imaginary fantasy in my head of, well, what would I do if I got pulled over? What would I do if I got pulled over? I would probably tell him to take me to jail. I would say, take me to jail. I'll hand express milk. I have enough milk in the fridge. My husband can take care of the baby. The baby's going to survive. Everybody else is going to survive. And I'll get to sleep. And then I'll go back home the next day. Can you imagine that? I just saw a cop in my rearview mirror and immediately was thinking, I'll just go away and go stay in jail one night so I can sleep. So that's like, the temptation to flight. I didn't run away. I went back home. But it's definitely a sign that, I needed help. And once I got the help that I needed chemically for my brain, for my mind to be settled, the reassurance from my therapist that I wasn't going insane, because when anxiety is hitting you pretty bad, there's definitely those thoughts that if I tell anybody what's going through my head right now, they'll think I'm nuts and they'll take my kids away. That's a really scary place to be. So I needed to hear from my therapist. He literally had to say the words, I know crazy and you're not crazy. And that's what I needed to hear, but once those things were calmed down, then I could read. I could focus on other things. I could actually focus on prayer and learning about suffering and working on more of the holiness. And I'm not saying that I'm a perfect holy person. Definitely not. We're all sinners. But this is a great little book, so it talks about, that temptation to run away. Another thing it talks about is that you have to have leisure of some sort just to have that time to relax and to breathe. You can't be working the whole day long or the whole year round. And in order to pray or to help other people, even to suffer, you have to be able to breathe. This is my breathing. Boom. That's my leisure. That's crochet. I take no credit for the design of this. I mean, this is gorgeous. The design, the coloring, all of that was designed by someone else, by Lianka Azule, if I'm saying her name right, with Bonita Yarns. And this was a crochet along I did. I am so excited. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, it's a vest. But that's my leisure time. I crochet. I do things with my hands. I do needlepoint and embroidery. I'm here on the bed with the baby. Yeah, everybody enjoy that. And I have yarn all over the bed because, everybody else is asleep and I'm going to get to stitch for a while. So I love it that he has that in there. In the back of the book, he has some extra prayers. He has some extra prayers that you could use throughout the day, and some of the prayers for special needs are really awesome. Prayer when exhausted by housework. Prayers in times of desperation. Prayer when you're in a bad mood. Prayer before dealing with a difficult person. That, like, Lord, I find it difficult to be charitable to Emily. I'll just use myself. Says, you know my feelings, and you know too that I wish they were otherwise. I wish to bear no malice against Emily, and if there is anything at all deliberate about my antipathy, I renounce it as completely as I am able. Help me to show genial friendliness when I am tempted to show at best a frosty smile. It is possible that what this soul needs today is sympathy and understanding. If I fail to provide these things, if I give a hint of my boredom, I may destroy the work that you want done. Lord, let me show an inviting mind. Let your mind be in me as I deal with Emily. Amen. I mean, isn't that fabulous? We all have difficult people in our lives. And here's a whole prayer dedicated to what to say before you have to deal with them. Prayers for before and after having a baby. And then recommended reading at the end of it, which is stuff that I have never seen because it is recommended reading that was written in the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, beginning of the last century. Fantastic. So a short little book, like I said, short. Mine's well read and marked up with stars and underlines all throughout it. On my Facebook page, Be Like Lilies, there is a resources note, and I have an affiliate link for this, so you can jump over to Amazon and get yourself a copy. Be sure to share it far and wide with other moms, and be sure to share this page and this video with other moms so that you can help out another mom who may be suffering. And I'll see you next time.